Hi, George here. I keep on hearing people say that AI can replace Photoshop Elements, programs like this, so I decided to give that a test using projects that I've done here on YouTube over the past few years. And I'll start off with a couple of big successes here for AI. Now I'll be using ChatGPT. It just had an update with a new image engine, which is absolutely phenomenal. So let's see what it can do. The first thing I wanted to try was a standard real estate photo. So here I have an almost finished new home build. Has a few problems. Obviously, there's no lawn yet. The garage door is open and not closed. Big pallet over here. There is a break in the window right here. There's a few more things. Now, I just asked a simple test here for ChatGPT. I asked it to use this photograph, add clouds to the sky, fix the overall contrast, give the home a green lawn, and close the garage door. I didn't ask for a lot of real fine detail. I probably would add more detail in here if this were an actual project. Let's see how well ChatGPT did this fairly straightforward job. I'll just bring this one up here. And here's the finish. There's the garage door, looks perfect. Shadows are good on that. Here's the lawn, even put in some bushes I didn't mention. It finished the lawn on the right-hand side, I didn't mention that either. Clouds look really good. It even repaired the broken window. I didn't mention that, but it fixed that. It did miss something though. Again, I didn't mention it, so it's not really fair, but the cupola here over the front door is unfinished. That should be painted. There's a support board right here and a bit of wood over here that hasn't been fixed yet. And normally on this kind of a front porch, you'd have a beam or a column right here and a column over here as well. So it's kind of a visual thing. So it missed that. But again, I didn't mention that. If I did, I'm sure it would have fixed that just fine. So at this point, I say that programs like ChatGPT are perfect for doing real estate photographs. I would go ahead and use this for that. Again, something which I used to use Photoshop Elements for. I think that can be easily done in just seconds here with an AI program. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Here's one of my standard projects. I've shown this a few times on the channel, and I use this as a test of the new AI inside of Photoshop Elements 2026, and it failed at this one. Simple request, just change the jacket color to a different color jacket. And what I was getting from Adobe was either no jacket or a different jacket. It was just very, very strange. I didn't get a good, clean fix on this one, so it's something which currently Photoshop Elements 2026 cannot do. But let's take a look over at ChatGPT with this new engine and see how it handled this project. Okay, here we go. There's the project. Real simple. Change the color of the jacket in this photo to a medium blue. Easy enough. And here we go. Let's just bring this up. And ChatGPT handled this absolutely perfectly. There's no pink showing in here anywhere. All the fingers look really good. It's the same exact jacket. It's just changed to a medium blue. If I go back here to Photoshop Elements, you'll see it even kept all these same folds and creases, buttons, all of that stuff that Photoshop Elements, even in the newest version, cannot handle. Now, one thing you'll notice about both of these two projects that we just did here, these are scene editing style images. I didn't ask for anything really tricky in here. So things that are actually fairly simple, AI can do beautifully. The more complex stuff, AI really struggles with. Let's take a look at one of those. Again, one of my standard projects is to put text around a circle. I've done it several times. It's a cute trick, and there are a couple little things in there to make it work out really well. Let's see how ChatGPT handled that one. Now, it used to be, even as recent as last year, that AI had a real hard time with text. Letters wouldn't look like letters any longer. They looked like who knows what, some kind of strange foreign language, or something from outer space. Now AI, and especially ChatGPT, can handle text no problem at all. And I simply asked it to wrap some text around a circle. Fairly straightforward. I used that as the text for the project as well. And it did this very easily. Of course, this is also easy to do over in Photoshop Elements. Now, here's the tricky part. In Photoshop Elements, I have the top half of the text reading correctly and the bottom half of the text also reading correctly. I asked ChatGPT to fix this so it had that same top and bottom working correctly, and it couldn't handle it. Give me 2 R's on round, the D space is separated, it began to struggle with this bottom half and wasn't able to flip the text over so that the bottom text read correctly instead of being upside down. So there's still definite limits to what AI can do. This is one of them. So I give AI on this maybe half and half. It can get text around the circle, but it couldn't do the next step, which is bottom half the text reading correctly. Let's try a real difficult one here. Now, this is a project I've never shown this on Photoshop Elements or my channel because this is just too hard for Photoshop Elements to do. I can remove all these creases, but I really can't replace missing eyes, things like that. I can't replace this whole left-hand side of the picture. Almost impossible to do with a program like Photoshop Elements. So I figured, let me try this one. Here we go. And I gave it just basic instructions, and let's see how well it did. Did a fantastic job on this. It repaired the missing parts of the image, repaired the left-hand side, matched the dress pattern over here, repaired the faces, put the eyes back in again. Absolutely phenomenal job. This is something that AI can do very, very well because it understands what we're looking at. But everything here, if you think about this, this is all on one level. The kind of way I think of it. This would all be done on one layer inside of Photoshop Elements. It's really a single layer project. All of these pretty much would have been one layer projects. But there's a lot that AI can't handle. Let me show you another one. Here we go. This is a project that I did over on my older Photoshop channel, and this requires layers to make this work. What you want to do is to brighten up the foreground bridge in here so you can kind of see these parts of the bridge, get everything lightened up without damaging the darkness in the sky. Fairly straightforward, but this requires something which is called a Luminance Mask, and it requires separating out the darks from the lights using a mask and then only adjusting the light parts of the image and not touching the dark parts of the image. This is something that requires layers, and AI can't handle things that require layers. Let's take a look at that. Here we go. Here is AI's best shot at this. Nice picture. It lightened everything up. The bridge is a lot lighter now, but the sky is lighter as well. So we lost the richness in the picture. We lost the darkness I wanted in the sky, and the whole picture was lightened up because AI couldn't separate out those different parts. That requires pixel editing. What that means is that AI cannot do things such as dodge and burn on portraits. It can't work with blend modes over here. There's a lot of stuff that AI can't do. Also, a program like Photoshop Elements allows you to be very detailed about things. You can go in here with a very small brush and work on just little fine details in one little area. AI can't do that. AI does the whole picture. So for precision, a photo editing program like Photoshop Elements is still the way to go. Now, the way I see the current level of things, on easy projects, you just want to change the background to something else, or you want to blur the background out, or you want to change the color of a jacket. Basic things, you can do that a lot faster with AI. For more careful photo editing, AI cannot handle that right now. So if you're looking for quality and detail, that's where your photo editing programs shine. And if you want to learn all those advanced tools that we have here inside of Photoshop Elements, so you can make your own high-level images and not just rely on an easy program like AI, I do have some training for Photoshop Elements, over 200 videos covering the whole program, allowing you to learn everything that Photoshop Elements can do, so it really advances your ability to work with this great photo editing program. You can find out more about that. I have a link for that at the top of the description. If you found this video interesting and useful, go ahead and click that thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos in the future, and I'll see you next time.